This would be the most challenging layover of her in Guangzhou Baiyun International Airport, and it was early in the morning and most shops and restaurants were closed. However, there are still several ways to make the most of her 3-hour wait. At that moment, she scanned the almost empty airport for signs pointing to the exit for connecting flights. Following the arrows overhead, she weaved through the fellow tray-wheelers until she spotted the lift leading to the departure area, the hub where most transit passengers regrouped before their next journey. With just a button press, the lift doors opened, straight from arrival to departure. In an instant, she moved from the arrival area to the calmer departure zone. She started by exploring the airport's modern architecture and spacious terminals. The airport is one of the busiest in the world, but not right now, and it offers plenty of quiet corners to relax. If you're up for some light exercise, take a walk through the terminals or do some simple stretches. 3-hour layovers can be relaxing and productive, even in the early morning when most services are closed, after a long flight and keep her awake before her next journey. This is an example of an inhumane hostile architecture. Like, why do you need to put this kind of design if you're in the pre-departure area? This not just happen here, it happens all over the world. If you're feeling tired, find a comfortable spot to rest. Of course, Mama. Do you want me to say, "Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you, Mama"?
Sometimes if you're not comfortable, you still have to rest.
Many seating areas in the airport have armrest-free benches where you can lie down for a short nap. But I like the ones with the armrest because I can lay my arms on there and put my head on the arm and then I can just... Some lounges may be open early, so check if your ticket or credit card grants you access for a more comfortable experience with snacks and showers. But given the current state, the housing bills in this world, I don't think we can ever get to those lounges. Moving on. Since food options are limited at this time, pack some light snacks. She bought some diabetes starter pack. I'm just kidding. This might save you from boredom. Open your mouth and shove the chocolate in and then chew, chew, chew. Staying hydrated is important. So fill up your water bottle at drinking stations. For entertainment, load up your phone or tablet with movies, ebooks, or music before your trip. Free Wi-Fi is available at the airport, but that will be useless unless you have WeChat, Douyin, Xiaohongshu. If you enjoy people watching like Mama, find a spot near the departure gates and observe the early morning travelers. It can be surprisingly interesting. The moment has arrived. Checked in for her next flight. She was onto the jet bridge once again. There were still nearly 3 hours of flying ahead.
Hi. Yeah. 59K. Can you go straight to that? Thank you.
She was settled into her seat and she found a neatly wrapped blanket sealed in a plastic bag for hygiene. Just before takeoff, she saw some airport workers outside waving goodbye at the passengers. These people will wave at you before your takeoff. The flight was smooth and easy. As the flight attendants handed out meals, the plane started shaking badly. But then comes lunchtime, and trouble! The seatbelt lights turned on, but it was too late. Her food was already on the tray. Her food slid around and it bounced up and down. She tried to eat, but it was like playing a game. She struggled to eat as the plane shook violently. I could just picture it. A bite of this veggie would miss her mouth entirely, first poking her nose, then smearing her cheek. And then it's gonna have like your foundation smeared on it before she finally managed to guide some into her mouth. And then after that, she looked in the mirror and she saw that she looked like a zombie with sauce all over her face. The plane finally stabilized after a shaky turbulence. She didn't think she needed to elaborate much on in the in-flight meal. It was just standard airplane noodles, nothing extraordinary, but decent enough to satisfy hunger at 30,000 feet. The noodles had that familiar, slightly mushy texture that all reheated airplane meals seem to have, but the flavor was surprisingly okay. She managed to finish what she could. The aircraft descended. The view outside her window became spectacular. The plane had officially entered Philippine airspace, and down below, the archipelago of Tropical revealed its glory. A vast emerald green forest. And then suddenly,
Because you know, in a moment, they could all...
the scenery transformed in an instant, a sudden explosion of urban sprawl that assaulted her view. One moment she was gazing at open skies and distant horizons, and the next, bam! She was thrust into the heart of Manila. The cityscape erupted in a dizzying collage of towering skyscrapers and a sea of rusted rooftops stretching endlessly into the haze. This has been another excellent flight with China Southern Airlines. The seat was comfortable with just enough legroom for her height, and she appreciated how the ergonomic design minimized back pressure during the first long haul and this short flight. Touchdown at Naiya Airport.
午市用餐，各位乘机午市用餐可提前通过门口2块12元。
Smart.
She disembarked the plane. The flight attendants at the door bid her farewell with genuine smiles, and she made sure to thank them for their service.
Thank you. See ya.
The humidity of Manila never failed to greet her as she walked through the jet bridge, that famous half jeepney, half wall art installation that served as both a photo spot and a symbolic welcome to visitors. The vibrant colors instantly made her feel at home. The walkolators, the moving walkways, were all in perfect working order. Her luggage arrived promptly, and immigration processing was smoother than she remembered from previous visits. Manila's signature heat and humidity, well, Philippines' signature heat and humidity, one thought dominated her mind: street food. She headed straight to the nearest vendor selling what locals call Asian balls. Ball. A collective term for the various deep-fried delights that are ubiquitous in Philippine street food culture. The moving stall offered the full array: squid balls with their springy texture, fish balls with their distinct seafood flavor, chicken balls that puff up gloriously when fried, actually they all puff up when fried, and of course, quack quack, quack quack, quack quack, those irresistible orange-dyed quail eggs encased in crispy batter. But the stall also sold kikiam, a fried sausage-like snack that wasn't shaped into balls. And then there was the most shocking item: one-day-old chicks, dyed bright orange and deep-fried whole. These were male chicks from egg farms, often discarded because they couldn't lay eggs. Oh no! Must shed a tear for those male chicks.
Shout because tagamuan na.
Kuya prepared her order.
Ayain ka pala. Hindi ko makakatayo pa niyo na. Dok.
Kaso na?
Sige.
then placed them in a plastic cup before liberally dousing them with the legendary manong sauce. This special blend, sweet, savory, slightly spicy, and utterly addictive, is what elevates simple fried street food into something extraordinary. This bouncy little ball is giving way to a soft, almost fluffy interior, all enhanced by the perfect sauce. Yum! You just made my mom salivate. The sun was blazing hot. The only thing that could cool her down was halo-halo from Chowking. Although uncultured people would say, oh, ice cream would, cool you down. Some people say it's not fancy, but they have horrible taste. I'm sorry. But she loved how it always tasted the same no matter which brand she visited. The dessert came in a tall glass. Actually, it was in a tall cup, not a tall glass. Layers of sweet beads, colorful jellies, creamy flan, and crushed ice, all topped with purple ube ice cream. Yep, it should be ube ice cream. This is non-negotiable. If there's no ube available, she isn't ordering. She ordered 8 cups, 1 to eat right away, and 7 to bring home to her family. Because in the Philippines, good food is always better when shared with loved ones. What Philippine street food would you be most excited to try? Have you ever dared to sample the one-day-old chicks? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe or follow our socials for more travel and food adventures across everywhere.